Hi students, Mrs. Girot here, and I just found this really cool website that I thought I would share with you. It's called differencebetween.net, and one of the things I like to do in our fine arts classes is um, try to give you resources that you can also use in your other classes, such as your history class, especially your English language arts class, because in those classes you learn how to juxtapose different themes, and one of the things that we do in art is juxtapose different periods in history and different artworks. So this is a very, very cool resource to have. The difference between that I searched today was the difference between Middle Ages and Medieval Ages. So when you're studying this period of history, you will hear the Middle Ages, the Medieval Ages, the Dark Ages, and I just wanted you all to be aware that those three terms essentially refer to the same period in history. And I'm just going to go ahead and read this article that I found. Middle Ages versus Medieval Ages. History is the uncovering of past events and their compilation, organization, and publication in order to provide knowledge and understanding about them. The word history came into the English language in 1390 from the Greek word historia, which means to inquire. It is based on oral and written accounts that have been passed down from generation to generation. Monuments, such as ruins of buildings, inscriptions made on tombs and other surfaces, pictures, and drawings also form as a basis of history. History is divided into three periods, namely classical, medieval, and modern. The medieval period is also known as the Middle Ages. Although they are used to refer to the same period in history, they are different in how they are used, since the term Middle Ages is a noun, while the term Medieval Ages or medieval is an adjective. The term Middle Ages is used when referring to the period between the 5th and 15th centuries of European history. It first appeared in Latin to specify the period as the start of the departure from classical learning towards the Renaissance. It is also referred to as the Dark Ages. It is called the Middle Ages because it happened in between two other historical periods, the classical and the modern. The Middle Ages is the period in history that is between classical antiquity and the Italian Renaissance period. The end of the classical period was marked by the deposition of the last Roman Empire in 476 AD, and the start of the Italian Renaissance, which was marked by the fall of Constantinople in 1453. It is further classified into three parts: the early Middle Ages, the high Middle Ages, and the late Middle Ages. The term medieval ages or medieval is used to refer to people, places, things, and events that happened during this period. It comes from the Latin words medium and avium, which mean the Middle Age, and it relates to the Middle Ages. Thus, it is apt to say medieval furniture, medieval art, medieval philosophy, medieval history, or medieval scholar, rather than Middle Ages furniture, Middle Ages art, Middle Ages philosophy, Middle Ages history, or Middle Ages scholar. So, in summary, the Middle Ages is a noun that is used to refer to the period between the 5th and 15th centuries, while the Medieval Ages or medieval is an adjective that is used to refer to the people, places, things, and events of that same period. 2. The Middle Ages is also known as the Dark Ages, while the Medieval Ages or medieval is also used to refer to old-fashioned or unenlightened times. 3. The Middle Ages is the period in history between the Classical period and the Renaissance period, while the Medieval Ages or medieval is used to describe things and events of the period. 4. The term Medieval Ages or medieval comes from the Latin words medium and avium, which means the Middle Age, while the term Middle Ages comes from the Latin words media tempestus, which means middle times. So hopefully that article helped to clarify for you. Next time you hear medieval, middle, or dark, you know that they all represent just this period of history between the classical period that we learned about in this class when we studied the ancient arts through to the Renaissance, which is where you are going to end this course. You will finally go through medieval art, Gothic art, and some art of the Renaissance. And that will end Fine Arts A. And at some point, you will pick up and have Fine Arts B, and that is where we shall kick off the modern times, which are awesome artistically and philosophically speaking. You are going to love Fine Art B.